My sole desire.
And maybe also that top thing.
Yeah, we can do that real quick. It's an interesting week. So Martin, is this my soul?
SOLE.
Oh, SOLE. Okay, this is where I got it wrong. My sole desire. There we go. All right, Martin, I got this for you right here. So what? So is this a foreign film?
Yeah. It's French.
French. All right. Heard them French. They make fine cinema, Martin.
They do at times.
Is that the case with this right here? My sole desire. You want to tell us what this is about?
Make sure this is in the Red Band trailer. This is it's a story about a girl, a young woman who is looking to make some money and get herself through school and decides, you know what? I am at a point where maybe I'll look into stripping. That seems seedy, and if nothing else, I'll get a story out of it. And once she gets in there, she realizes it's not so seedy. These girls actually kind of, they do their thing, but and they put on these elaborate shows for their customers, but they have these relationships with their customers, but they also are actually supportive. Mm-hmm. And she meets a friend who becomes a bit more of a friend as the story goes on. Oh. But it's an erotic drama, and it's not told through the male gaze. And often I hear that and I go like, oh, so it's just not going to be very erotic. That is not the case. Okay. It is from beginning to end. A lot of times it's almost, you think it's going to be something like you'd see on Skinamax or Showtime After Dark, where it's front-loaded with sex and then the rest is all soap opera-y. And this actually wasn't that. It actually, they're like the erotic quotient stays throughout the movie, but also these stories, you kind of get into it. You don't think you would. It's a little bit Flashdance and a little bit Showgirls, but without all the parts that are overdone and kind of get on your nerves. I mean, like Flashdance is fine, but with Showgirls, you laugh at how bad it is because it's written and directed by dudes. But this one is like, oh, this actually had a lot of heart to it. And yeah, they sent it to me, and I decided to watch it one night, and I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed this all the way to the end.
Et le retrouver. Le grand, le petit, la tendresse.
And this is all, erotic stuff aside, I would like to see this.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it's not purient, but you will get turned on. There's just no getting around that, and it's through the whole movie. But I find myself really engaged in the characters and what's going on. It's the kind of movie, as far as ratings, like if you are someone who has an art cinema and you're used to going to see foreign films, I think it'd be a low matinee. If you're not, then a high rental.
All right. So for you, what is it?
It was a low matinee.
Low matinee. All right. So what are the downfalls of this for you then?
Well, it's not a big story, but it is one where, like I say, it's not like anything really big. It's almost, the charm of it is how the big stuff doesn't happen, because there is the whole thing where they're like, hey, stripping is fine, but you don't want to hook. And she has somebody else say like, listen, you can not hook if you want to, but if you do, you can make some big money. Yeah. And you always think, oh man, it's going to lead to a terrible road. Maybe not. All
right then. Is it streaming anywhere?
I think it just got released.
So
I think I saw it available to rent on Amazon. I think.
All right.
Because I was looking it up. I was going to try and watch it. They didn't have it on the airplane.
Oh.
I was going to ask though, because there's, I'd imagine there's some sex scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
Have you heard recently what Henry Cavill was saying? He said a really fucking silly thing. He said, "I think that sex scenes don't belong in movies."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's his opinion.
Yeah, that's his opinion.
Until he has to film one.
Yeah.
They make his big, and they pay his big ass to do one. I bet he'll pull that ass out real quick for $1 million.
I mean, you see a number of movies where there's a sex scene, and afterwards you think, didn't really need that, but this movie you did need it.
Yeah,
it's part of it.
All I could think is like, man, are you mad that you weren't in Poor Things or something? Like, why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah, it's an odd thing to say.
Fucking Costco Clark Kent.